on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to episode 3 of our franchise mode here in Madden 20. Running title, Rip City Rejects. It's the Portland Snowhawks. It's Hugh Janus. It's everything you love about Madden. So we're here today. It's going to be an interesting episode, as it's going to be maybe our most important episode. I've kind of gone through and made some of the obvious cuts, but this is where we get to fill our roster. This is going to be always, for this series, I would like to think the biggest week. I mean, getting UDFAs, yeah, I mean, we might be able to get the occasional surprise player. Like, you look at our roster, we got Christian Rector, who's a top 100 player. We got him as a UDFA. We got David Reese, who had a hidden dev trait as a UDFA. But, you know, really outside of those two, though, you know, it's a team of guys that most likely would have had an opportunity to sign at this point, because they would have been practice squad at best around the National Football League. Oh, and we also got, you know, Blankenship, who we're a little mean to. We bully him just a little bit last episode with the nerd talk, but I think he embraces it. But he has a hidden dev trait as a kicker. We had an emerging monster in James Prochet, who I think plays way better than his overall. He had, 500 yards, 5 touchdowns in the preseason. I think that his stats don't make any sense. He feels way faster than 87. His catching felt way better than 76. I think he's going to be, he's for 100%, he earned the right to start on this squad for week 1, opening week. So, reason why I said this is an important week, we'll just make sure the rest of our cuts and stuff are where we're at. I mean, we got Kelly Bryant, who's a very interesting quarterback, but I think for the time being, he actually might be better suited on our practice squad. So let's release. Here's what our practice squad looks like right now. This is all guys we had on our roster during the preseason. Say for Samuels, DeGuara. We could probably get rid of someone like Logan Wilson. He did have a nice sack in one of those games, but we'll release him so it frees up spot for Kelly Bryant, who is an interesting athlete, but we could stash him away here on the practice squad. Case Cookus by far and away outplayed Kelly Bryant during the preseason. I think he's earned the right to make our final 53. Scottie Phillips is an intriguing athlete with 93 speed, 94 acceleration. He's a 61 overall. I think he's just an interesting guy that could probably be our 3rd or 4th running back on the roster. At wide receiver, you know, we got room to move around here. I wasn't impressed with anyone outside of James Prochet, so depending on who's available in free agency, we could move on from, for sure, Fuller and Joe Reed. Tight end, we got Wilcox just for the time being, more so because he's a scheme fit. If you're a scheme fit, that's probably the difference between you making this roster and not. At this point, we got Durant. We could probably get rid of, I mean, he is a scheme fit here in France, so I guess we could hold on to him. Jerica, 60 center, Pollard, Heck. I just like that because you know there's going to be enough Heck memes, Christian videos, Christian approved. Kareem had really good stats. You got a couple sacks, couple TFLs. Christian Rector's our big boy. I don't know yet if I'm going to play him here at defensive end or move him into defensive tackle at this point, but he has a really, really big contract. Got to have one of the biggest contracts ever for a UDFA in NFL history. Potato was really good. Cornell, I like his build, but Galei was also probably, along with Kareem, our most productive edge, you know, getting in the backfield. We got David Reese, Brunson. We probably should move on from Brunson. Brunson burner, don't need him. Patrick Nelson, our secondary. We got 4 corners on the roster: David Dow, Hamlin, Hudson, and Shin, as well as Blankenship. We do need a punter. So this all kind of led up to we now have 29 spots filled out of 53. And this is always going to be the most important week for this series, because this is when these are all the guys that if they were going to sign off to the XFL, and by all reports, the first weekend in real life of the XFL is in the books, and it is super successful. So the NFL wants to, you know, almost have top priority that we don't let the top guys slip through the cracks. We're going to have to fill our roster out. We're going to have 30-some spots, and we had 2 names. I asked you guys, give me some big names in the comments. I wasn't going through all these players because that would take way too long, and there was 2 guys that, without a shadow of a doubt, you guys wanted me to get. So at quarterback, I thought it might have been Nick Mullins. I honestly think Nick Mullins, I'm not going to make a hot take because I don't want to make 49er fans mad, but I honestly think that if you had swapped out Jimmy Garoppolo and you had Nick Mullins be the starting quarterback for the 49ers, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have ended up going to the Super Bowl. I just think it's that interchangeable at quarterback. We have Kyle Allen, who played pretty well before Drew Lock took over. But the number 1 quarterback that you guys wanted to see was Easton Stick, the quarterback out of North Dakota State. You know, way different, like pretty much the same profile as Kelly Bryant, but Obviously, he's a lot more accurate, which was the issue with Kelly Bryant. You know, Kelly Bryant is your speedster, 93 acceleration with 91 throw power, but he just could not hit the broadside of a barn. So I will sign Easton Stick here to be one of our quarterbacks. We have $186 million. Pretty much we're ran and controlled by the NFL. We should have unlimited salary cap. But I do like having 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and I actually think that, you look at someone like Chad Kelly could be interesting, but we had a quarterback. Look, you have Philip Walker, who, pretty sure didn't he have like a huge, wasn't he the dude that went off in the XFL week 1? But I want to look at this guy. Dole Gala was a monster for us in pink slips. He's 6'7", 84 acceleration, 91 throw power. I wanted him to fill out our quarterback room. Running back. So we got some there's some big names here at running back. Some guys that have interesting skill sets. This is where I'm going to flex a little bit of my Eagle bias. Come on. I want Boston Scott to be my starting running back. He's really, really good for the Philadelphia Eagles. Was dynamic down the stretch. So we'll have that. We'll have Scottie Phillips, and we'll need a third running back. Looking at these names, like I said, I'm not going to make everything set in stone just because, there are going to be guys that I'm going to want to change out and guys that I'll take recommendation. I like the look at Trey Edmonds here, one of the Edmonds brothers. He's 6'2", 220, 90 speed. But I'm just looking at more so what we have. We have Boston Scott as a do-it-all back. We have Scottie Phillips, who is, more of a speedster. So we either need to get an all-out power back, or we need to get a guy that has good hands, a good set of hands. So let's see, for power back, Alex Collins, that's actually P. Ryan, John Kelly, Foreman. It probably is P. Ryan if you want a power back. Then what do we have for catching? Jason Huntley out of New Mexico, Booby Williams, it would be CJ Procise would be that guy. I think he's going to be the best fit. He's a little bit of power with his 225. That's some pretty good catching. So we'll bring him on to be our third running back. Do we need a fullback? We got this guy, Cullen Gillespie from Texas A&M. Pretty sure he was a draft pick. What's his catching? 67. I just want to see his catching compared to P. Ryan, who he probably could flex in. So he has 67 catching, 71 catching traffic, 67, 71, and 60. What does P. Ryan compare to that? P. Ryan is 50. Oh, God. See, I like P. Ryan as a power back. I remember we used him as a fullback. He was like a fullback meme when we did a Redskin rebuild. But Gillespie can at least catch the ball at the backfield, which is kind of what you want a fullback to do, as well as block. And he obviously can block a little bit better. So we'll bring him in to be our fullback. Wide receivers. So James Prochet is our starter. He's slotting in there. This is where, we had one name. You guys wanted me to bring in Deshaun Hamilton because you guys were saying he had a star dev. But I guess in the last roster update, he lost that dev trait. Now, he is a scheme fit. However, here, this is my time to, again, have not necessarily Gator bias, but use players that are underused in Madden. So I'm looking at DeMarcus Robinson. I want my boy Hollywood Higgins. I think those are going to be my 2 starters. It makes sense. I'm not trying to make this rebuild insanely hard by not going after some of the highest overalls. Let's get in... I like Caleb Wilson. I liked him at UCLA. Really productive. Glorified wide receiver. Offensive line. Now we're pretty much going to go best player available. If we can get a guy that has some youth to him. Like, there we go. We'll get Julian Davenport. Didn't he actually start for the Dolphins this year? So we get Davenport at left guard. What kind of options do we have? Dielman, Ethan Posich, Demby. We'll get Posich. He was a really highly regarded guy coming out of LSU. I believe he played center at LSU. Our starting center could potentially be Posich if there's not a lot of value here. Oh my God, there's no way we're not getting the serial killer Patrick Morris. I think we used him in pink slips. He looks hilarious. One of the funniest pictures in Madden. And he's not terrible. Second best center available at free agency here. Dorian Johnson. Sure, we'll get Dorian Johnson. He's a scheme fit. I remember he's coming out of Pitt. Big blocker for James Conner. Right tackle. Finishing up this offensive line, we have Kendall Lamb, who's a 68. Rod Johnson's a 62. Trying to keep it in the 60s for sure. I mean, the age goes to Rod Johnson. Lamb's actually not. I'm going to side Lamb and actually maybe slide him inside to guard. think that's something we could do. That's not as big as I want my tackle to be, not as athletic as I want my tackle to be, but he's, I mean, obviously you can't ignore that 68 overall. Going on the defense. So we want guys that fit our scheme, but every now and again you can make a little bit of an adjustment. So I really want to, like I said, keep everything in the 60s. Pretty easy here at defensive end. Noah Spence has a soft spot in my heart. He was really good for us way back in the original Pink Slips. So we'll sign him. And then we get a guy like Kim Dichie, who's here for was he a first round pick? Second round pick? I remember he was first round hyped at Ole Miss, had some off the field. We'll bring him in, and he can be flexed out. I like Cam Smith. I'm getting some guys that I remember I graded out fairly high during the draft process. He was insane at USC. And we'll get Ty Summers. He was like a solid special teamer from the Raiders franchise. So moving to the other outside line, Jordan Jenkins, like one of the top free agents. Very surprising that the Jets cut him. I don't know where he's going to play for us. I just want to get him on the roster. We could see if we could maybe, you know, he's not really his coverage is actually not terrible for coming from a 3-4, but maybe he might be better suited to being a defensive end in our scheme. Pursued the finesse move, the block shed. Either way, he's a good player. I want to get him on the roster. Fairly expensive too. Without a doubt, our biggest free agency signing in terms of contracts so far. And last but not least, here as an outside linebacker, maybe salvaging the career a little bit. Ja'Kai Polite, coming out of Florida, just ruined his draft stock. Had a terrible combine, but maybe, just maybe, we could tap into it and get him to reach that potential. Because I mean, again, I'm going to be honest with you, especially more so on the defense. There was like not one player that I kind of fell in love with on the defense side of the ball. Like there's a guy, we call him Potato. You know, that's, oh, Javaris Davis, 95 speed. Sure, let's just throw that in the mix. But there wasn't anyone on the defense I was like, you know, that had a James Prochet effect. So I'm just going to go through all these positions, and especially if there's guys that I really liked at any point during the draft process, I am probably going to try and bring him in. Rashard Robinson. It might be nice if we can actually find a player that does have a hidden dev trait, sneak it in there somewhere. So let's go from the top here. Jimmy Moreland, if you watched any of my draft content, you know I was hyped on him out of James Madison. So we're going to sign him to the roster. I can't ignore Perry Nickerson, 95. Good speed, scheme fit. A little more Gator bias. Tease Tabor. I see how much I like here. Free safety. I mean, we got, yeah, Armani Watts, I guess. I think I had a third-round grade on him when he was coming out of Texas A&M. Josh Jones, interesting. Marcel Harris, Florida. I don't want to just keep hitting Gator bias. Justin Evans was actually pretty good, I thought, for the... we'll slide Justin Evans, and I think we'll get Su'a Cravens at the top there. I thought Justin Evans was good for the Bucs. He was a kind of a high-round pick not too long ago, but we'll get Su'a Cravens. I saw his name in the comments on that video where I was trying to say, who do you guys want me to sign? We'll keep Blankenship as our kicker, but we do need a punter. This guy's a tremendous first name, even though he ruins it with having an E in it. I more so just want stats. What do we got here for kick power? It's, I mean, I don't want to get redundant, but come on, we're getting Johnny Townsend. He was a legend in the Raiders franchise. Why not reunite that once again here on the Rip City Rejects? Okay, so we've made the cuts. A lot of guys, you know, one and done with our squad, but here is going to be, for our week 1 game against Atlanta, our final 53, our starting roster. Okay, so just going to quickly go through. We get Easton Stick and Cookish will be our quarterback. Stick will get our start, as voted on by you guys. Our running back room will be Boston Scott, Procise, and Scottie Phillips, with Boston Scott being the starter. Fullback, we have Gillespie. Wide receiver, Demarcus Robinson, Hollywood Higgins, and James Prochet are going to be our starting 3, with Harris as our special team return man, Lynn Bowden as a developmental guy. Tight end, Caleb Wilson, Wilcox, and Villard. No idea who actually is going to be the starter. We'll give Wilson the opportunity, but really it's open game right now and pretty weak at tight end for our squad. Offensive line, we have Davenport at left tackle. At left guard, Postage. Center will be Patrick Morris. Actually, you know what? We'll go with Jerica. There's only 1 point difference. Jerica is younger. So actually, we'll have Jerica be the starter at center. Right guard will be Kendall Lamb, who we converted from right tackle to right guard. And right tackle will be Roderick Johnson. Flipping to the defense, left defensive end will be Noah Spence. Right defensive end will actually be Christian Rector for the time being. D tackles will be Kim Dichie and Tano Passingo. who we could both converted to be defensive tackles. Ty Summers will be left outside linebacker. Inside will be David Reese. Other outside will be Jordan Jenkins, the very surprising guy still available as a free agent. Corners, we have Jimmy Moreland, Perry Nickerson, and Tease Tabor will be our 3 starters. We'll probably put Tease, probably be in the slot because he's a little slower. Free safety will be Armani Watts, and strong safety will be Sua Craven. Special teamers, Nerd Alert, and Johnny Townsend. So we are here for our first week, our first game ever against the Atlanta Falcons. We have 2 skill points on the line if we can win to spend David Reese and Vollard, who we just signed as our tight end, away from, I think he was on the Chargers. But usually these videos are going to be presented like we did the Raiders and the Bucks, 2 games per episode. But because this episode, a lot of the beginning was me building up the roster, we are only actually going to have 1 game, and then probably the next episode will be the Panthers and the Raiders, as you're just looking at the top there, and then we'll have to, just to keep it on sync, the 3rd episode will be the Bills, and we'll have to figure out something that we can put in for the bye week, just to kind of keep it as, keep it on schedule. Gotta hate people that say that. But anyways, looking at our depth chart here, you guys know the starters that we went through, but I will show you the other, the specialty type players. So as we said, in the slot position, Tease Tabor is going to be our starter. He's our best guy there. 70 overall. Sub linebacker will be David Reese for the time being. I was thinking about Sua Cravens, but I think because David Reese, it's only 3-point difference, and he does have the dev trait. I think it makes the most sense to have him be there right now. Get him a lot of snaps. Passing on will be rush D tackle. Jenkins and Noah Spence will be the sub ends. Slot wide receiver will be Prochet, so we can have Robinson and Hollywood Higgins on the outside, and then Prochet, who has earned more than his own fair share of snaps this year. He'll be on the field quite a bit. Power running back will be Procise. 3rd down running back, it should technically, if you're going overall, be Procise, but I want Boston Scott to get out there. I think it's an underrated rating. Punt return will be Bowden and Harris, and kick return will also be Bowden and Harris. So, we got this first game here against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not expecting a lot of difference to their roster. It should be the roster that we know. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and Alex Mack as their big-time players. I guess if we want to take a peek at their full roster here, just to get an idea. I mean, usually we've always kind of presented the series on the channel just looking at the X factors, but I mean, getting a full scope for the roster, kind of seeing what young guys they have, what guys they've drafted. I mean, we know they can run the ball fairly well. They got Calvin Ridley there, along with Julio Jones at tight end. Austin Hooper, they re-signed him. They spent another very high pick in Bryson Hopkins. He probably would have been a 2nd or 3rd round. Maybe probably 2nd round pick for them. Offensive line is, is ups and downs for sure. Not incredibly well rounded. Defensive line, they got Tack McKinley, who can wreck games. Grady Jarrett inside. Linebacker core, they got Camus, formerly of the Eagles. They got a lot of athletes here at the linebacker. Camus, Deion Jones, Olukun, all these guys got like 90 speed. It's ridiculous. In the secondary, Trufant, Sheffield, and Oliver. They got KZ at safety, Keanu O'Neal healthy. So they must have used their first pick on a tight end, even though they still have Hooper. I mean, maybe it's long-term plan. No, they re-signed Hooper. Okay, so I mean, I don't know if we're going to have to expect a lot of 2 tight end sets from Atlanta or not, but this is going to be a really big test here for us to get a good feel of where we're at. We saw in the preseason we could hang with teams in the preseason, but now we're not going to be going up against backups for 75% of the game. It is full strength, Easton Stick, under center for Portland. Let's get into it. Let's go, boys. First game, franchise history. Home game. Home game, welcome them in. Home dogs. A lot of people here supporting. More people supporting this team than they were the Chargers when they were the Chargers. But, my God. We're getting nightmares with that man right there. Number 11, Julio Jones. And we got a bunch of guys that have never played together. This is 90% of this roster. This is the first time they played with each other. So, I mean, we're probably going to have to rely on the run just a little bit. So, Boston Scott's going to have himself a day here against a pretty good run defense. Yeah, man, there's Caleb Wilson looking. Why are we giving this guy camera time? Anyways, let's get into the game. Okay. Daniel Pasternack, monster. Had a real breakout year in real life for the Kansas City Chiefs. Finds himself on our squad, and he blows up the first play ever in Snowhawks history for a big tackle for loss. We go. Another TFL passing out. Unreal. 2 TFLs, 2 plays. Oh, and there we go. There's the... As long as they run the ball, I think we have a good chance. But as soon as they throw the... there's no one that can cover Julio Jones. Oh, that's a huge hit. David Reese. They still gain yards on it somehow, but David Reese, like a heat-seeking missile, destroys Devontae Freeman, fumbles the ball, and they are very, very lucky to recover that. Dan Quinn, a man who's certainly starting the season on the coaching hot seat. Look at this. It's a C4 special attempt, and then, oh, what a hit. We bend, don't break. David Reese, let's blow up the A gap here. Or do that. Devontae Freeman, 1-yard scamper. Snowhawks, they're reeling right now. All right, there's our quarterback, Easton Stick, all-time leader at North Dakota State in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Pretty much the second best quarterback they've ever had outside of Carson Wentz, getting his first chance to lead a franchise. Oh, let's go, Boston Scott. Whoop. Big gainer. Big gainer, Boston Scott. Definitely a little nervous to throw our first pass beyond the line of scrimmage just because I feel like all Madden's going to be pretty harsh. And there's all Madden's going to be pretty harsh when we're throwing the ball. You know all Madden's going to be really harsh when you get sacked on a screen pass. Oh, that's a good catch. That's a good catch. Still not good enough for a first down, but that is a really good catch by James Prochet. First catch in his NFL career. Big 3rd and 8. Our defense's first chance to really get off the field. Passing on blows that play up. Matt Ryan, not a comfortable pocket, and we force the punt. Let's go, Boston Scott. Okay, my first throw behind, ahead of the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a slants cheese, and we're going to get sacked because we saw ghosts.
Seen ghosts.
Oh, my God. No one was open. We'll eat the sack. Just punt it back, and hopefully our defense can play well again. 3rd and 21. I don't know. If we can't stop them here, we're probably not going to stop them at any other point when we need a big time stop. Oh, no. Okay. Sure. All Madden. Thank you. Ja'Kai Polite gets the sack. 4th and 31. They're on the 1. Let's go out punt block here. 3rd and 9. I mean, I don't know. Couldn't tell you who's going to get open here. Top of the screen.
Drop!
Oh, you know what it is. 3rd and 3 for Atlanta. We got to stop here. They're really outside of field goal range. And that's a terrible play action. Can we punish them for it? Which we do. Sula Cravens coming, bringing pressure from the safety spot. Gets the sack. 4th and 11. Our defense bails out our offense yet again. Another sack. I mean, I'm trying to do this thing. I don't know if we're going to... I'm going to call what play comes up when the coach tells you to play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to pick one of these 3 plays. I feel like that's another way that we can make this a little more challenging. It's... my God. It feels not fair at this moment. 3rd and 20. Easton Stick looking for his first completion. Oh, come on, Sua. Come on. Oh. Oh, he got embarrassed. Devontae Freeman spin move into the end zone. There we go, Boston Scott. And he's hurt. The only guy that's done anything is hurt. Boston Scott with a bruised shoulder. We'll go pro size till he's ready. I feel like you can re-aggravate that fairly easily. 3rd and 1, pro size. Looking for our first 3rd down conversion of the game. If we can block it up nice. Oh, that's right at the line. Give me that first down. Don't give me inches bullshit. Thank you very much. Oh, right there, tight end. Oh! Caleb Wilson, let's go. 2nd and 10 in the red zone. Don't need anything fancy. Let's go stick route. Simple slant to Robinson, but looks like it's coming back due to a hold. Dude, like, we cannot run screen. How are we getting sacked this much on screen passes? 5 sacks for Mike Daniels in the first half. He's like 48 years old. He's a senior citizen. Third and 29. We'll just go quick slant to Wilson. Make it a manageable field goal at this point. Got to get some points on the board. No! All right, we will go. We got to go almost zone defense. We go man defense, man to a man. We're not going to hold up. So 3rd and 11, we'll go into zone defense here to try to give our offense another opportunity to get some points for halftime. They're running the ball. We have got to get a stop. That looked really confusing, but yet again, Passanal with his 6th tackle of the game faces a 4th and 6, a nice punt. Okay, so we're kicking out the second half. I just want easy completions here. That's the biggest thing. Is like I don't have time in the pocket to let plays develop. Like, look at there, and those are easy passes. Covered. Everyone's covered. There's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can. We gotta sit here and take our ass whooping. 3rd and 10 on our 30. I guess we'll just. I guess we try to check it down to our running back, except we'll sail it 40 yards over his head. Oh, come on. That was a big gainer. I mean, our defense is getting gassed. They're not even that great of a defense to begin with, but they've been on the field for 80% of this game. They are just sucking ass right now. Get off your... That was a very low-effort play from Perry Nickerson. Didn't seem like he wanted to give us block. Screen pass. I think that's Ito Smith clowning on us right now, man. We can't even complete a 5-yard pass. Oh, nice catch there by Caleb Wilson, and he looks like he ripped his shoulder out of his socket. And it is a shoulder tear. Great. Our already weakest position on the offense got even weaker. All right, we'll Slates cheese it. We need to get something going here. 3rd and 8 on the 29. Come on, someone. I just need someone to make a play. Look, there is no one open.
Fucking bullshit.
And he dropped it. Big drop there to Marcus Robinson. Had him a chance, and he couldn't come down with it. Hit him! He's open! This guy, we're going Cookus. He sucks. If we only get open 1 out of 7 times, you better be able to hit him when he gets open that 7th time. All right, love bringing in a quarterback, 4th down. I mean, you got nothing to lose. That's pretty much where we're at. Nothing to lose. Take the easy pass to Wilcox, who actually gets the first down. Might get 15 additional for a face mask here, which he does. Case Cook is slanging that thing. 4-4, and we're marching. Well, there we go. Boston Scott showing a little juice. Up over 50 yards on the day. Our most productive offensive player. 3rd and 5, just in the red zone. Case Cookus. I don't even know who we go to here. Prochet, probably. Oh, why is it? Like, those are easy passes. Snap and throw. All right, 4th and 5. Obviously, Procise is going to be our read. Maybe we can send Prochet into the end zone. Or we'll get sacked instantaneously. Ewan Price comes through. Our offensive line is not all Madden capable. All Madden and our offensive line, they do not match. White flag pretty much should have been raised. Hugh Janus did not have this team ready to play at all. I mean, this offense was horrible. Our offensive line could not hold up. Our wide receivers could not get separation. Our quarterbacks could not make simple passes. And when you have that, you're not going to have a good time. Boston Scott tried his best. I think he got about 60 yards on the day. I was impressed with our defense. We had a couple breakout performances, I think, on the defense side of the ball. But look at these final stats, man. 37 passing yards, 68. I mean, that is honestly maybe the worst numbers I've ever put up in all of Madden 20. And a great way to kick off the series, baby. I guess Case Cookus gave us something to think about next week when it comes to a starting quarterback. Because at least he was able to complete passes, 5 of 6, 34 yards. I mean, if you had a little bit of positive for the quarterbacks, no turnovers, no fumbles. Running the ball, we got 58 yards for Boston Scott, 3.6 yards per carry, broke 2 tackles. Receiving, Boston Scott 3 catches, 19 yards. Prochet had 32. Caleb Wilson had 43, and he walked out with an injury, so that's awesome. Flipping to the, let's see what we got here. 2 sacks. And pretty much everyone on the offensive line gave up a sack outside of our left tackle. so that's cool. Defensively, David Reese, 12 tackles, 3 TFLs. Passignon, 7 tackles, 4 TFLs. We made a lot of TFLs. A lot of plays in the backfield. Sua Cravens, 2 TFLs in a sack. 2 TFLs in a sack for Ja'Kai Polite. A couple pass deflections there. I mean, honestly, Julio Jones didn't do a whole lot. We held Julio Jones 3 catches, 34 yards. So, small victories. You gotta find small victories when you get just the shit kicked out of you like you did here today. So that was rough, but that's kind of the challenge we wanted. Maybe not that hard of a, maybe not that, I don't know. I can't answer that question for how hard of a challenge we actually wanted, but I would like to think we could get a little bit more out of our offense because I'm a little tired, a little sleepy McNappy after that. We have the injury here to Wilson, the tight end. He's out for 4 weeks with a shoulder tear, so we're probably going to need to look at a replacement at tight end. I think we need to look at a replacement at quarterback. Eaststick was horrendous. He was simply horrendous. Cookus was fine, but we know his limitations. So again, eyes come back to the quarterbacks available in free agency. I mean, there's not much there. You got Duck Hodges, Deshaun Kaiser, Kyle Allen, Nick Mullins. Obviously, Mullins probably is the most refined passer of the bunch. Kyle Allen has some pretty good passes. I don't know. I need you guys to help me, though. You guys need to help me, help you, help me to fix this offense. Because, I mean, outside of the defense, we're not going to be able to spend these points. But I like seeing what we saw with David Reese. I like seeing what we saw with Tano Passignon. But, I mean, Boston Scott had a couple big runs there. But ultimately, this is just not good enough. And we got to make some changes here. Because I don't want to switch off all Madden. Because I think with where we're at with all Madden, and look at that right there, breakout player scenario, with where we're at with all Madden, when we do get those first wins, when we are able to find a way to get this team in the end zone, it's going to be that much more rewarding because you know how difficult it truly is. But that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Let me know what we're going to do with the quarterback situation in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the team, how we built. Is there anyone still in that free agency wire that we passed over that you think really should have an opportunity to play for this team? But till next time, it's C4 saying subscribe if it's your first time stopping by. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys back here on the next one. Peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking the talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, I never. Not me, I never. Not me, I never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here